Hi everyone, sorry it's been forever. I don't even know, it's probably been like 2 months since I posted the last video. It's been quite a rough time. I've just been very tired, very anxious, and not really able to, I just haven't had the energy to do this, to be honest. I was mostly just procrastinating writing out everything, because basically in my last video I spoke about anxiety in early childhood through primary school, and then this one is going to be about anxiety during high school. But high school was 5 years and it was hard, so I think, I don't know, just been putting it off. Anyway, welcome back if you're still following along. I am going to try and make this as brief as possible, but still try and give enough details so that it's sort of clear how difficult it was. So when I first started experiencing real anxiety, I would say was just between the end of primary school and the beginning of high school. I had an operation on my mouth. I had to have like a few wisdom teeth taken out. I had to have a tooth removed from my chin. Basically it was lying horizontal, so they had to cut it out. And then they removed a few teeth as well, because I was going to have braces. So yeah, it was quite a big operation. And then when I woke up from that, I remember crying, just feeling really fragile. And then for the next month after that, I was experiencing intense anxiety. Like every day I felt completely out of control. I remember, I think it was probably my first serious panic attack was my mom and I went shopping, which I generally love doing, and we were in the shop, it was quite hot, and I just started to feel like really overwhelmed, very dizzy, lightheaded and like sweaty, and my vision was going funny, and I was like, I have to sit down. And my mom tried to help me, and basically we had to leave. But yeah, after that freaked me out, because obviously I'd had baseline anxiety before, but I'd never experienced something like that. So we went to the doctor, and he prescribed just a short course of medication to help me get through what we assumed was just like post-surgery. I don't know if the anesthesia made me feel like that or what, but anyway, so I got those tablets, and I started to feel a bit better. And then we started school in January. In South Africa, we start school January, end in December. So it was our first day of grade 8. Thankfully, a little bit less daunting when you have a twin sister to do everything with. So yeah, we were at least together. It was really hot. It was like 32 degrees, 33 degrees. And at that stage, we were like newbies. We all were wearing our blazers. We didn't think we could take them off. And the prefects all said, no, keep your blazers on for the assembly. So we all pile into the hall first thing in the morning on our first day of school. And the prefect then says to us, guys, if you start to feel nauseous or like you're going to pass out or something, just make your way out rather than waiting in the hall. And so I was like, okay. And then we were sitting, and I realized we're all chock-a-block right next to each other. There's literally the rest of the school behind us. All the staff members are on the stage, and I just thought to myself, if I have to faint or throw up, everyone is going to look at me. And if I have to get up to leave in order to not do this in front of everyone, everyone's going to look at me as well. So yeah, so we were in assembly, we were singing, and I just started to feel that, again, that panicky, very hot, but obviously it was hot already, but hotter, like cold but hot, sweating, struggling to breathe, dizzy. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to die or faint. But I just said to myself, just wait, because if you go now, everyone's going to stay. So I waited, and that was my first, and again, another panic attack, I'd say. And that kind of set the scene for my whole high school career, unfortunately. Every Monday and Friday we had assemblies, and I started to fear them. I would literally feel like sick or have an upset tummy, sore tummy in the mornings all the way through the day until we had the assembly. I found myself taking like little bits, like quarter pills of anti-sickness meds, just to try and like reduce the probability of me vomiting, especially because the anxiety was making me feel sick, and then it was like a vicious cycle. So yeah, that was the start, but then Monday and Friday soon became every day. Sitting in class was hard, I was always having to plan my escape route. I always had to sit close to the door or at the back, completely out of sight of everyone. And yeah, that's kind of how it went throughout. Prize givings, there were like a few situations in high school that were really bad, so prize givings were one of them. Basically, we would be given an allocated seat, so I did not have any control over making sure I was at the end, because basically for assemblies I would just time my arrival really late so that I could just slot in by the door and then leave easily if I needed to. But prize givings, I didn't have that control, so I was put in like the middle of everyone, and it was all like super quiet, super serious, and I would literally just sit there like we had a program, and I would make my own dot to dot or start doodling or things and do deep breathing just to try and get through the prize giving until they called my name, and then I'd go up and then I'd just hope that it would be done forever. So yeah, that was one big thing. Another thing was I was a grade representative and a prefect throughout the different years. So we had to do school council meetings, so like with all the important people in the school, and I would have to sit and just try and be quiet and still and not need to run out. So that was another thing. We also, I was in the choir for 5 years, for the whole of high school, and we had these performances every 2 years. It was a big one, I think, every 2 years, called Classical Pops. It was like an amazing experience, right? So a whole big choir, we have the orchestra from the school as well. Everyone is in the Cape Town City Hall, which is this huge building. But we, as the choir, had to stay there was a choir stand in front of everyone on the stage. And again, because of our different voice parts, I was an alto, so I was like slap bang in the middle. And again, no control. So I remember the one year I was so anxious. I thought I was about to pass out, and I had to leave the stage in front of everyone. I went to find my mom, and she gave me something to help me calm down. I can't even remember if I went back to sing or not, but I remember I went to sit at the back in the hallway out of sight and just sang from there. And I just remember feeling so sad, because I love singing and I loved being in the choir and I loved that feeling of creating something with everyone, but I just couldn't enjoy it because I couldn't get over the anxiety of feeling like I was going to faint or throw up in front of all the people. So that was one thing. Another was writing exams. Was always, controlled environment. You can't leave when you want to. You can't choose where you sit. You have to be quiet. And I had a few instances in exams where I had to say to the teacher in charge, I'm just going to put my head between my legs now because I'm feeling anxious or faint or whatever. So yeah, thankfully for my matric, our final exams, the doctor gave me some beta blockers just to help, because basically when I was anxious in an exam, I couldn't focus, I couldn't think clearly. I would just look at the page and I would see nothing, like just see white. So yeah, I managed to get through all of that. I would say another thing that was just ongoing throughout school was the impact it had on my social life. So I'm an introvert by nature, but I do enjoy having like close friendships. And I think a big thing for me was I was so judgmental because I had all of these perfectionism standards for myself, and I would sort of reflect those onto other people, and obviously people pick up the vibes that you give off. So yeah, I was kind of a little bit, not rejected, but just a little bit on the outside of everyone, and I ended up withdrawing a lot. I don't know, I had friends, but different times in my life I just felt like an outsider. and yeah, like I was just trying to survive by myself basically. So that was hard. I think it also brings up a lot of self-worth issues, because you think, well, why do they not want to make me part of their group, or that kind of thing. I know I've already said quite a lot. I keep glancing down at my journal. There's 2 more things I'll mention. So the first one is that the anxiety wasn't limited to school. It sort of infiltrated every area of my life. So if I went to the shops, if I went to restaurants, like just sitting at a restaurant for a meal, I was anxious. I needed to escape. Always checking where's the bathroom, where's the door. At home sometimes I'd get really anxious, and at church as well. So church was quite a sad thing for me, because it was a place where I wanted to feel, and I'm supposed to feel safe and at peace and just focus on God, and I couldn't. Like, I remember sitting trying to listen to the pastor and literally just like massaging every tight muscle I could find, because I was like, I have to get the attention off the way I'm feeling. And at some points I would leave and I'd go sit upstairs away from everyone, just so that I was out of sight. I could do whatever I wanted to, if I needed to sit on the floor, if I needed to do deep breathing. But that again also isolated me from the friends that I had at church. So yeah, it was quite a lonely time. Even though I had people around me, I think it just felt like I was on my own in my struggles. And it's not like I didn't tell people. My mom and dad knew about anxiety, my sister, and the people in church knew, and I had lots of people pray for me, but it didn't go away. Another thing was, I wanted to say that even though I struggled so much through school, I'm still really proud of myself, like looking back now at how I still managed to do well academically. I still took part in, school sports. I still was involved in cultural activities, the choir and the Christian Union and all of that. And it's not for lack of trying. I tried therapy, I tried obviously prayer, I tried medication. Nothing really ever seemed to just work, but I kept pushing, I kept trying, I kept studying, doing my sports, all of that. So yeah, it's been an ongoing battle, still ongoing. I'm just praying, again, linking back to my handle, anxiousless. I really just want to be anxiousless one day, because I'm over it. Like, I'm so over anxiety. But yeah, that's the journey that we're going on together. Next video, I'm going to talk about my university experience, which will be a little bit shorter, I think. And then also going into early adulthood and marriage and relationships and all of that. So yeah, I hope everyone has a lovely rest of their week, and just keep pushing through if you're experiencing the same thing. Just know you're not alone. I thought when I was writing the prep for this, my grade 6 teacher, he always said, and he wrote it on the board at the front of the classroom, you are loved and everything is going to be okay. And I wrote that often in my diary at school, you are loved and everything is going to be okay, just to keep bringing yourself back. But yeah, post in the comments if you have any questions or can identify with anything that I've mentioned today. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.